whether the dog has a biting history or not. I think we need to
Absolutely,
look at that.
absolutely. Let me also join, in fact, Jasmine Dhamkewala, Supreme Court advocate, who's also been an impleader in this matter. Jasmine, thank you for speaking with Newsx today after this verdict. What is your first reaction to the order that has just been pronounced? Jasmine, if you can hear me, what is your first reaction to this order?
I can hear you. Sorry, I couldn't hear you earlier. I can hear you. Okay, so the verdict is pretty much there is stay on what it sounds
Okay, unfortunately, we're having some audio issues with our guests there, unfortunately. Let me go back across to Kamna as well on this big order now. Now, this is something which will become a national policy as well. Do you welcome that, and do you also believe that soon these directions should be passed to all state governments as well?
Absolutely, we very much welcome these orders. The only little point is that unless the order should not be misused, as in the feeding points, the feeding has to be done at the designated feeding point. But so long as the feeding point is not designated, obviously the dogs cannot be left hungry. So at the earliest, the feeding points must be designated. Actually, there are already feeding points in the feeders do feed them at exact same spot. However, if there is any objection, the local municipal authority, with the help of that, they can designate the proper feeding point so that the violence and the beating up and the intimidation, all of that of the feeders also stops. So this is actually a stamp of the Supreme Court also, that now nobody will be able to, once the designated feeding point is set up and people are feeding, so nobody will be able to beat them up and intimidate them, and all the violence and all the girls, all the riffraff elements that come in to take advantage of the situation, all of that will stop. So I hope this is done at the earliest and it is not misused in the time being while the spots are not designated and the dogs are fed. So that's the only little point. Other than that, yes, it has to be implemented all across the country. The states have to be wrapped up because the rules were in place. There is nothing new that the court has actually said. It has only reinstated the already in place rules ABC 2023. So the states have to be wrapped up, the local authorities have to be wrapped up, that you have to put this in implementation, and a time-bound implementation must be there. In Lucknow, we've achieved almost 80% sterilization. How? Because the people were serious, the animal lovers took part in it, the feeders were not intimidated. I mean, other than a few cases, the animal lovers and the feeders were in place, because of which the catching was done very smoothly. We had a group where, we were informed and we would pick up the dogs and put them in the vans. So there was no cruelty. It was done very smoothly. It can be done everywhere.